over. They're just unbelievable where they value the basketball. Second in the USA.
So now Gonzaga with the basketball for the first time.
A run out ball screen slip and attacking that rim.
Yeah, Watson able to lay it in, and Mark Few says that Watson, who hasn't started the second half of the last couple of games, they want him to be more aggressive with his shot, so he's aggressive right out of the gate.
Do a nice job lifting people, making your defense react. The patience on this end you have to have as a defender as well.
There's Clark lost in the paint. How about two turnovers
That's
to
incredible.
start?
This kid is so good in the open floor. Suggs.
Kispert open for three. Good.
Kid is amazing. They need the threes because if you don't, they shrink that pack line defense, Virginia, and just stifle you.
Kispert, one of those guys that declared for the NBA draft, but there weren't a lot of workouts for anybody to do after he declared, but he was given great feedback. Suggs, how about that? 3 turnovers on 3 possessions. And here's Timmy as the ball's knocked away. That foul will go against Hauser.
I just look at Tony Bennett along the sideline. He just doesn't believe his team right now. Nice little slip, this strong move, and ability to use that rim and knocking down shots. So important that this defense. You got to stretch. Now it opens up for driving lanes and Timmy to perform.
So Timmy to the free throw line. He makes the first one. He's shooting 68% from the line.
Big controversy over the stash, by the way. A lot of people thought he was going to get it taken off for mom.
He got close. He got rid of the beard.
But one thing at a time, I guess, right?
Yeah, piece by piece.
Little 1-2-2.
Virginia with 3 turnovers on its first 3 possessions.
Not the kind of start you would expect from them.
Clark with the basketball off the high screen set by Huff.
Huff does a great job slipping as well.
Hauser against Timmy and a bumping foul. Count the bucket. He shot that from the baseline.
Pretty good effort. Reach back for that little kiss delivery. But when you can shoot it like Sam, and the scout report saying, watch out for the 3, going either way, and that is a tough little kiss delivery.
That'll be Gonzaga's first team foul. And Hauser, 75% from the line, converts the 3-point play.
His brother had a big day yesterday. Unfortunately for them, Michigan State lost.
Yeah, Joey, his brother, plays for Tom Izzo at Michigan State. They both looked at the same schools when transferring from Marquette, but they both felt comfortable at different schools when the decision was made. Pulled it inside for 3 off the back of the iron.
He's got a nice looking stroke from left, but Beekman gave it up nice and early.
4-point lead for the Zags. So Suggs was fortunate that Ayayi was there because that pass was intended for Kispert. Speaking of Kispert, off the high screen, right side of the lane.
Ooh, everything but. You see that little hesitation, then the ability to blow by. And right now, Virginia not themselves on either end of the floor.
First foul on Jay Huff, the 7'1" senior. That'll send Kispert to the line. He's 90% from the free throw line.
He's so consistent all there. 62% from field goal, 46 from 3. Some great numbers.
Nembhard will check into the ball game for the first time.
Yeah, this is a lethal backcourt right now for Gonzaga. Don't you agree?
I agree with that.
Both can run the show, make plays, get in the lane.
I think they have different personalities, too.
Well, Nembhard's been through the wars of the SEC when he was at Florida. You hear them calling out the plays.
Hauser, entry pass to Huff, knocked away by Watson.
Murphy on the floor now. He's got the green light as well. Has a great stroke.
There's Huff with the jump hook, no good. Hauser with the board. Shot clock resets to 20. Clark caught a little traffic with Nembhard. That's a tough pass.
Sure it was.
That's another turnover. The possession goes to Gonzaga. That's 4 turnovers.
It's incredible. It is not let's half their number. A great denial. That time Watson down on the floor. Pretty good start for Gonzaga.
Orcel in the game for the Cavaliers for the first time.
Yeah, he's a good defender too. A little step back jumper as well.
5-point lead. Kispert for three, and it's good. 2 threes for Kispert.
Well, you got to hug him. I know he can put it on the deck, but 2 is better than 3.
Kispert against Northwestern State. Gonzaga played them twice, Monday and Tuesday. Had 2 good games.
Just trying to get their reps in, really.
Trey Murphy, the transfer from 3. It's off the front of the rim. That was a pleasant surprise when he was declared eligible.
He can fill it up. Track record with 3s. This is where usually I'm thinking Timmy's inside. That was Watson.
Kispert caught in the paint. Still plenty of time on the shot clock. And Ayayi dribbles that one off the foot of Hauser.
Oh, their great defense makes you be patient too. Consume some time.
Is their defensive philosophy, Bill? Is that what
it is. His dad started it. Uncle Jack as well. Chris Dick Bennett at Wisconsin, Washington State. But they've adjusted on the offensive end. He tries to do something new every year. A little more ball screens, giving guys the green light. We mentioned Murphy and, of course, Hauser, Huff as well. And this is that screening mover blocker concept.
Hauser away for the basket, has it knocked away. Suggs, who can defend any position, falls to the floor. Hauser rims out, and Watson with the rebound.
Boy, a little gamble could have cost him there. Open middle, you can dribble drive and find people.
Demhart, he got free. 19-footer is good. Nothing but net. It's 13-3 Gonzaga.
Well, they have so many people can hurt you. Confident group.
Yeah, Kispert and Timmy are the leading scorers, but you can throw anybody in there from night to night. Ehay Clark with a beautiful reverse against Kispert.
Real nice job. Of course, another one at the lift, the open middle, able to really penetrate easily.
Clark's first bucket of the night. Kispert for 3, and it rolls around and goes down. He's got 3 threes in this first half.
Well, that really is destructive to the defensive philosophy. Now you got to go out there, stay attached, force him to put it on the deck.
As a team, 34%. Hauser trying to answer for 3, does not. And Suggs with a very easy rebound. Virginia just cleared out. Kispert feeling it. He didn't take it that time.
He's a threat, though, every time he catches it.
Demhart. Nothing but net. These guys are red hot. It's 18-5 Gonzaga.
What about the defense?
Man.
Tony's going to be a little bit upset, but Corey Kispert getting those puppies organized. Toe that line. Putting it on the deck on occasion, but why not fill it up? This kid is a big-time shooter with a great-looking stroke.
This is big.
And I just want to wish you a happy and healthy holiday season.
Mark Few has done a remarkable job at Gonzaga. His team is shooting 60% so far today, up 18-5. Since the 99-2000 season, Ref, Gonzaga has the best winning percentage in college basketball. 21 straight NCAA tournament appearances.
Just so low-key and understated. Obviously deserves so much acclaim and credit for what he's done with this program. These are 2 of the premier coaches in the country on the sideline. 2 different philosophies, and this one, they can fill it up.
See what they've done this year. They're 3rd, scoring 94.7 per game, but ahead of last year's pace, which was tops in college basketball. But they're also playing very good defense.
Is that 1-2-1-1?
Yes, Suggs is kind of the defensive back. You see him number 1 roaming around.
They're very good jumping passing lanes, too.
Hands in the face. Hauser up top, covered by Ayayi.
Early leads are miscellaneous. If he's just going to hang tough, run their stuff. Nice cut here.
Hauser in the paint. Does he get to the free throw line? He does. An end 1.
He's busy, and they know he's important, so he's going to get a lot of touches. They just got to button up at the other end and having his difficulty on the defensive end. This is the footwork, little drop step to the middle, able to take that little nick and caress that baby home.
6 points for Hauser, who at the start of this year had gone 615 days between basketball games.
How about that?
He was a great scout last year for Virginia. And Watson has it blocked away. Huff. Well, that's a good start right there to get the defense shored up.
Huff can really beat you outside or do this. His footwork excellent.
7'1", and he used every bit of it. First bucket of the day.
He is an athletic kid.
Scored 505 points last year, Huff did. Got bigger and stronger with each passing year. There's another block.
Does a nice job, over 2 a game. They will test you once in a while with an early push, but generally make good judgments.
Murphy on the baseline, and the Payne is able to get it to go.
That timeout certainly helped. Playing with a lot more confidence.
Murphy led Rice in scoring last year. Tony Bennett thought that he would sit out this season.
At 21 against Towson. This is the guy you can't leave him alone. Get that number. Well, you got to close quickly on the catch.
That's 4 threes for Kispert. He has 13.
Now, Tony told both of us you can't match baskets with Gonzaga. You got to get consistent stops. A little nickel dimer here by Suggs.
Tuesdays on CBS from Dick Wolf, executive producer of Law & Order. This elite unit will bring all their intellect and technical expertise in order to keep New York safe. Their job is staying one step ahead. FBI, Tuesdays, 9, 8 Central on CBS.
And the Zags look one step ahead right now.
They certainly do.
They're so fluid on the offensive end. Timmy back on the floor now.
Yeah, Beekman checks back in. Clark checks out.
P.A. Clark, such a great leader. A little hold.
There was sort of a size mismatch there, Bill. I'm not sure if you saw that.
Was
Jay
it
Huff.
Cook?
Jay Huff is a foot taller than Cook.
This didn't happen at Southern Illinois.
No.
He played only 6 games, I think, before he was injured last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Broke his hand during his senior season. Will Tensai checks back in for Virginia. And Hauser will take a break.
Well, Tensai can make threes and put it on the deck. Got a beautiful looking stroke. I like the young people at Virginia. We haven't seen McCoy yet. Nice help.
Yeah, the steal by Cook. He used his height and his strength to rip that one away.
Ooh.
Timmy was open for a second.
He can make that too. Nice. Well, they move the ball, don't they?
Cook Yayi for 3. It's no good. Rebound by Huff. He's had a few good defensive possessions for Virginia.
Yeah, he hasn't really stroked that 3 yet this year. Does so many other things to help his teammates.
Yeah, Mark Few said he is a total winner with impeccable confidence. Will Tensai heading to the basket. Tough shot.
That starts your fast break, too.
Nemhart. And there's those extra passes that you talked about.
A home game for Timmy. I'd like to see him get going a little bit for the home folks.
Posted up against Huff. Timmy slips underneath. Count the bucket. He'll go back to the free throw line.
And there was that motion. Did you see it with the finger? His salute.
The stash.
There it is, the stash at work. Mom wanted to give him a Gillette razor. Had a little shaving cream in his stocking. Oh, without that, the ability to finish.
The new comedy critics call Positively Good, starring Silicon Valley's Emmy-nominated Thomas Middleditch and Tony winner Annalee Ashford. Watch Be Positive Thursdays, 8:30, 7:30 Central on CBS or stream anytime. 23-12, Gonzaga on top. Well, Corey Kispert's been smoking hot.
Fury told us, such a great leader. Besides this individual ability, you just can't give him these free looks. You got to stay at home. He's the one guy you don't switch off, you don't leave. Just gorgeous setup. They pass the ball so well, right in the shooting area where the rest is history.
13 points here in the first half. And the Zags, Bill, taking care of the basketball. No turnovers yet. Meanwhile, Virginia has 5.
It's shocking, really.
It is.
When they turn it over, They are not a mistake-ridden team. A little smoother on the offensive end, though, of late, Virginia.
So Drew Timme to the free throw line. As Raph mentioned, he grew up about 40 miles from where this game is being played now. He has 5.
A pretty athletic family, too.
I think it also shows you the reach that Gonzaga has from a recruiting standpoint,
amazing.
too.
And he was recruited by a lot of people. He came out last year a little intense. That's that stroke we mentioned earlier. This kid can drill it.
Well, that's his first bucket of the day. He's got 3. He's been shooting a little less than he would like, percentage-wise. Been pretty hard on himself, according to Tony Bennett.
Nice denial.
Yeah, beautiful take by the Cavaliers.
Shedrick.
And Murphy fouled going up. Pittsburgh can't believe it.
But Shedrick, a freshman, they don't let the ball inside. With a great denial at the other end, led to that opportunity, but a slap back and right here, that's a pretty good wall up. What do you think? Never reached down. Ooh.
And he had the basketball too cleanly.
I might have had the jacket off on that one.
We don't wear jackets anymore, Bill.
That's true. The informal look. But I mentioned about Timme. He jumped out at me last year when they played St. Mary's in the tournament, the conference tournament. He was just magnificent. Just owned the game.
What did Mark Few tell us last week? He said he could have easily been the conference tournament MVP, most outstanding player. They wound up going to Ayayi. 8-point lead for Gonzaga.
They really use both sides of the floor. Dribble drive, set things up like this. It's gorgeous basketball. You overhelp, you pay dearly.
Yeah, Nembhard with the assist. Timme with 7 points. And the lead is back to 10.
Boy, they handle that ball screen beautifully. That one.
Clark separation yet. They're going to call an offensive foul on Clark.
Cook just hung in there, moved those puppies, got in the right spot. Just great coordination. This is an add-on to Virginia last year, a little bit with the ball screen, and just excellent pursuit defensively. Kihei just can't believe it. Kept that arm in pretty good, but that little extension cost him.
Yeah, then Watson, he sold it pretty well, too. 6 turnovers down for Virginia. Nembhard heading to the basket. Count the bucket.
That's what he adds. And Timme had moved out, opened up the lane, a little dribble drive. The Florida Gator moving up to the state of Washington effectively. Got to use both hands. You can just see Murphy just can't get in position. That is a difficult trust.
Nembhard, much like Trey Murphy, they found out just a couple days before the start of the season that he would be eligible for Gonzaga. As Bill mentioned, transferred from Florida.
He was on the scout team.
He was on the scout team.
Both guys.
Converts the three-point play. This is the largest lead. It matches the largest lead of the day for the Zags.
Virginia, not a team that scores quickly. They're a grind-out team.
Hauser, quick first step back, jumper, no good, too hard. And the rebound by Suggs.
Now that's a weapon they have, the Zags. Guys, rebound and bring it up.
How about that?
How about that? On fire. Cook with the penetration.
Averaged 15 points per game at Southern Illinois. And it's now a 7-0 run for the Zags. Clark, his runner, off the front of the rim, no good. Timme with an easy rebound.
That's where he runs rim to rim, little ball slip.
Suggs kept his pivot foot. Timme for 3. It is no good. And he will make those.
He can bite you with them.
Hauser working against Nembhard. Tony Bennett said to us the other day about his offense, he goes, I've spread it out a little bit more too. Here's Hauser for 3, in and out.
Now this is the pace, carry, same hand, crossover. First mistake really by Cook. He has played really solid.
8:32 to play here in the first half.
Let's see how you. Ooh, I would say that was a good call. Where is Allen Iverson when you need him?
He was a little faster with it.
He was. He couldn't detect it.
First turnover for the Zags. Little hedge by Timmy. Clark, freedom. Kicks it out. Morcell for three. No good.
Boy, I thought he had a layup. Look at the pressure they put on you. Goodness, you've got to get back in a stance. A little blow-by. Lombard or Suggs had ability to turn it up a little bit.
Well, the Tensai called for the foul.
That kept you up last night, I think.
Will the Tensai?
Yeah, working on that. Sounds good.
I was told it rolls off the tongue once you get it going.
Well, you do the rolling. I'll just listen.
16 fouls for the Cavs. Suggs. Spin move got free. Can't finish. And the rebound by Shedrick.
That's an interesting weapon they have, too, with that post up with Suggs.
We've had a chance to see Gonzaga a few times this year, and he just is everything that everybody expected he would be, maybe even a little bit more.
Oh, not a good play there, leaving the floor.
Ayaye with a good catch.
Well, look how the pressure, they got plenty of time to run the nice slip.
And then Timmy trying to finish. He'll go to the free throw line to get a couple more shots.
So clever. They are cooking, so to speak. The ability to light it up, whether it's dribble drive, a little crossover, the strength to finish. Boy, they are impressive early. Virginia's got to get control.
Excellent start by Gonzaga, 11 of 19 from the floor overall, and also red hot from beyond the arc.
Unbelievable opportunities, particularly Kispert lighting it up. The steals, elite open floor opportunities. You just can't make mistakes against this team. And what's overshadowed is their defense. Collect at the point of attack. Not a good play offensively, but jump that passing lane. Suggs so good at it. Cook here, a tiger in that double up. And this is just that typical Kihei Clark. A nice vision by Timmy, the run out, and the opportunity at the rim. They are very good. Whew.
They have balance on offense, and they have balance on defense. I mean, they forced 7 turnovers already.
Very impressive. The first 4 minutes were tough for Virginia. They really didn't do a good job valuing the ball.
Timmy will get 2 shots. Here's the first. And it's good.
I mentioned this team having, Timmy, I'll let you do the promo first.
Well, Monday at 7 Eastern on CBS Sports Network. Catch more college hoops action. Illinois State battles Loyola Chicago on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports.
Timmy's so valuable because they can move him around. He's not stuck on a block. Just solid in all facets of the game.
No points in more than 3 minutes for Virginia. Hauser's back on the floor. He's number 10 for the Cavaliers. Covered by Ayayi at this point. Now Suggs. And a traveling violation.
Yeah, they were trying to load up Hauser on the block, and you make a mistake out there. Again, not typical of this club.
8 turnovers. Whoop.
I think your mom would have called a walk on that one. On you. And once again, how about this kid? That just opens up so many opportunities for others.
How about 16 first half points for Kispert? 5 for 6 from beyond the arc. Tough to stop.
Tony predicted that, though. We can't give these open looks to these guys, even though some weren't shooting it.
Clark trying to get a 3, no good. Just 1 made 3 for Virginia so far in this first half.
See, anybody can rebound and bring it up. What an asset.
Nemhart, Ayayi playing catch on the perimeter. Ayayi had 18 rebounds last week against Iowa. Timmy inside, off the glass, no good. Suggs battling for the rebound. Timmy will run out with it. And Nemhart leaves it for Timmy, and he's going to go back to the free throw line yet again.
I mentioned before Timmy's parent, dad, basketball player, right?
There they are.
Yes, and there's mom. And of course, their grandfather, Jerry Bishop, was a great football player at Austin College. A friend of mine, John Underwood, used to be a Big 12 rep, a coach. Of course, he was at Oklahoma as well. Says the daughter may be the best athlete at all.
Really?
Soccer player. And of course, Walker 6'7". A lot of people are recruiting him.
Are you going to let Megan go by without pointing out the mustache on the mask?
Well, apparently she was in favor of it being eliminated. But I guess he's got a little bit of a free spirit in him. He's got to do what Mom says.
Gets the free throw to go down, 36-16. It's a 12-0 run. That mustache became a story against Northwestern State. Larry Owens, who played really well for Northwestern State, he asked Timmy if he can use his mustache celebration during the game.
I don't know whether he'll be able to use it as often as Timmy.
Here's Clark, and Clark is able to slice his way to the basket. First field goal since the 11:01 mark for Virginia. And Timmy, it's going to be tough to stop him.
That was Suggs.
Yep.
Suggs saw K.A. Clark on the floor, pushed the ball, created an opportunity, a little dish to Timmy.
That's 6 assists for Suggs.
He doesn't have to score for this club. And he can.
Covering Clark out front. Clark for three. It's good. Just the second three for Virginia.
I got a mistake by Suggs. Didn't challenge the shot.
He was about
Get
3
him
feet
out.
off.
Get him out.
38-21.
Boy, what a pick and pop guy this is with Kispert. Look,
He's wide open for three, and it's no good.
Woo.
He had a clean look, too.
You dodge one when he misses.
Clark crossover. In the land of giants, is able to get a shot off, but Timmy with the rebound. It's 5 boards for Timmy. Kispert running to the basket off the glass.
Well, they thought he was going to jump stop, but great extension and finish.
18 first half points for Corey Kispert.
He must have something against Tony.
He's playing with a lot of confidence in this ball game.
He sure is.
Murphy for three, and it's good.
When a shooter gets a cone, and that kid can shoot with confidence, raises a notch.
Murphy played 2 years at Rice and scored 667 points.
6 of 8 threes against that Towson team. This kid can fill it up.
And now under 4 to play. Nembhard. And now Timmy backs his way in. Fadeaway jumper at the horn is no good, and Hauser with the rebound.
Now that's Virginia's defense, though. Make you use a lot of clock. They need stops and a fluid offensive run.
Virginia, 5 games this year. The opposition scoring 54 points. A little too strong with that three-pointer. Kispert, who has a season high in made threes already in this first half.
Boy, they really keep busy, don't they? Look at Timmy, just kept moving. That was gorgeous offense. Circle the wagons.
How about the vision?
Oh. Virginia not communicating, really a problem, Tom. Pretty. Kispert, he can beat you long. He can get inside, extend that little kiss delivery in Fort Worth.
The day the world...
And off air, we were saying Virginia's trying to incorporate a lot of new faces to buy into the defensive scheme, and that is really difficult.
Heading toward the 3-minute mark here in the first half. Off this timeout. Clark with the basketball up top. After distributing, he cuts. Shot clock under 10. Hauser with it.
They're usually comfortable late in the shot clock.
Hauser caught in the paint. And a traveling violation. Another turnover. That's 9 turnovers for Virginia.
Boy, this is something most coaches wouldn't recognize in a Virginia team. They are really struggling. And Tony knows it. A work in progress.
How about the points off turnovers? 17 points for Gonzaga.
And the push, too. The early push, breaking down the defense, not really stacking it, not forcing people to help.
Timmy and Kispert. Timmy with the basketball right now. 31 of the 42 points. Well, make it 33 of the 44 points.
What a day.
He has 15. But I think you mentioned this before, Bill. There's guys like Suggs and Ayayi. They don't need to score in order for this team to be good.
They're very unselfish. I mean, Mark's done a wonderful job with these guys buying in, all about winning. I've seen a few teams. They may be the best I've seen, though.
Murphy went off the top of the backboard there. Hey, coming up on AT&T at the half, Brent Stover, Clark Kellogg, and Seth Davis share their early season surprises and a compelling look back at Virginia's 2019 National Championship triumph. That's all coming up on AT&T at the half.
Guy, Jerome, Diakite, they had some players, did they?
They were really good. And you mentioned the defense. Their defense was stout. Along the baseline, it's Timmy. Cook can't put it back, and the loose ball is picked up by the Cavaliers.
Well, Cook has really been active, though.
20-point lead for the Zags. They've been comfortable for just about this entire first half. Clark, pull-up jumper, it's good.
Yeah, Timmy gave ground there, gave an open look. Put a few together if you're Virginia, just to get in touch.
1:20 to play. Offensive foul is called on Timmy.
They extended that arm on that post entry.
Drew Timmy called the personal foul, his second.
That's his second foul. And for Gonzaga, it's only the 16th foul.
16 foul.
Funny when kids come home. Sometimes they have a super night. Sometimes it's a little bit of a struggle.
I think the lack of attention, because there's about 2,800 people there. Maybe that helps a little bit for Timmy.
Could be.
Clark from 17. He's got back-to-back buckets now for the Cavaliers.
This kid's a winner. Really plays hard. Great defender. Drives and finds people.
Under a minute to play. Clark with 11. Let's see if Virginia can get a stop here. Ayayi. Cook. They want to get it into Ballo, who's in for the first time.
It was pretty good around that rim in that low post area.
Ayayi gets his man off his feet. His three is no good.
Probably going to play for one. Shoot it late. Finish out in a positive vein.
So that note about Clark, he has been basically their offense over the last 5 minutes.
Now, last year he was forced to run offense too.
10 seconds left. He's caught in a double team, gets it back. Murphy for three, it's good.
Oh, that's got to get good feeling going into the timeout.
9 points for Murphy. He makes it a 13-point game as we reach halftime.
Pretty impressive comeback here.
Yes, sir.
D.A. Clark putting the team on his shoulder. A couple of mistakes coming down the stretch by the Zags.
7-0 run over the last minute 31 for Virginia. That's the end of the first half with Gonzaga 44-31. We'll send you to Brent Stover in New York with AT&T at the half after this message and a word from your local station.
Wow.
CBS Sports College basketball coverage is sponsored by Papa John's new double cheeseburger Papadilla. Capital One, what's in your wallet? And by AT&T 5G, fast, reliable, and secure. Well, Gonzaga already has three wins, against ranked opponents this year, and they lead a ranked opponent here 44-31. The West Virginia game was the closest of those 3 games, but they had some good wins. Kansas, obviously, West Virginia, and then last week against Iowa. Along with Bill Raftery, I'm Tom McCarthy. All right, so it seems like turnovers and Kispert are the storyline.
Well, of course, Kispert certainly drilling those deep shots, but this is a team that a lot of guys can beat you. Different spots, but Kispert, you can't let him get free. I mean, he's out there. They pass the ball properly, right in the shooting pocket, gets the feet organized and knocks them down. And, of course, the turnovers, incredible when you know Virginia basketball.
Coca-Cola presents our first half statistics. Gonzaga 5 of 11 from beyond the arc. Give Virginia credit, though. Virginia was able to get themselves a few threes at the end of the first half, but it's been the Kispert-Timme show for Gonzaga.
You got to make them think about shots a little bit. Right now, it's nice, free and easy. Corey Kispert, wide open. Really not great communication. Normally, you see that with Virginia. They tag people, make sure they're in the right spot, cover, close out properly. But the difficulty, dribble drive, because you can make that shot. And Timme's such a solid performer, too. Home, show the folks he's got a little bit of a game, a little slip, which they do beautifully. He's got great footwork around the rim, nice understanding, nice pace to his game, great footwork, the ability to take a hit.
And you see the combined numbers, 33 points, 33 of the 44 points for the two guys that are the leading scorer, even overall, for Gonzaga here in 2020.
And Virginia's got to make them think a little bit. Don't you feel that way?
I agree with that.
Like guard them, make them worry about the shot, stay in contact, get in the throw of the game.
All right, here we go. Second half is underway. Virginia with the basketball. Kihei Clark had a really good end to the first half, even though a season-high 4 turnovers, and Huff is fouled underneath. They'll call, I think, Kispert for that.
Kispert or Watson, I'm not sure who. He was wide open for quite a while. Tony has to be exasperated because they generally have such command defensively and unhurrying, controlling the ball.
Clark trying to get it in. He does get it in finally. Hauser covered by Watson.
Go inside to the big guys a little bit.
Ball's deflected by Suggs. Another turnover. That's 5 turnovers now for Clark. His career high is 9 against Florida State last year.
Which is unbelievable when you think of it.
It is.
With a nice little crossover. Yayi trying to go that empty side.
Well, the 10 side is called for the foul.
This is where they're going to get a couple of stops in a row. Get into the flow defensively. Feed your offensive game.
And Morcell will check into the game. That's the 3rd foul on Wolde Tenstein, so he'll take a seat.
Morcell, good defender.
What did Tony Bennett say to us the other day? He said, I'm still working on my rotation in a lot of ways.
A lot of young people. There's that open middle, the ability to get to the rim. Watson, very secure.
And again, I know we've said this before, but the vision of some of these Zags players to distribute the basketball is excellent.
Well, it's the unselfish play that impresses me, and the motion. They keep busy.
Hauser in the paint. Fadeaway jumper is good. Nothing but net.
Can't match points now.
That's 8 points for Hauser. He averages 13.5. Watson again has it knocked away by Clark, and it remains Gonzaga basketball.
How about Suggs? Read it right away. Saw the mismatch in the low box area. Just a terrific movement to the foul line by Timme. Sets up that little yo-yo motion. Watson, the beneficiary.
Here's Kispert for 3 again. No good. He falls to the floor. Whistle blows and a foul underneath.
I guess Suggs maybe discard on Clark.
Suggs called for the personal foul. His second.
Nice little double screen, gave this open look, and just see didn't really have to do it. Little discard. Tavern League discard. You can relate to that.
I can relate to Tavern League. My bones are still creaking from them.
Slip to Huff.
Hey, Clark right to the basket off the front of the rim. No good. Timme with the rebound. 6 rebounds for Timme.
I love the way they pass it ahead.
Watson to Kispert for 3, and it is good. Nothing but net.
How can you leave him? There was Morcell there. Number 24, stay attached.
21 points for Kispert. Virginia gave up the most points they've given up this year in the first half. And Morcell, and he'll draw the contact.
That's his game, too. Puts it on the deck. What's such a beautiful technique, isn't it? Unselfish team. You don't have something right in the pocket. Just gorgeous. Not on.
I think it's impressive how quick he is when he touches the basketball and lets it
Great
go.
point. Great point. His release, impeccable.
And Morcell converts his third free throw of the year. 15-point game.
Chris, don't forget all these coaches have missed practice time. And I think that's the way Virginia guards. They need a lot of reps, new faces. Not easy.
Yeah, they had the William & Mary game the other day, but they also had 10 days where they had nothing but Zoom conversations. That was it. Suggs, Ayayi.
Marcel with a nice job on Suggs, dribble drive.
Ayayi for three. It's good.
Ooh, is that a healthy reminder? He can make them, but has been struggling from deep.
That's his first bucket of the day. 7 threes for Gonzaga. And the lead is 17.
Kispert with a nice little jump switch.
Morcell to the basket. Offensive foul called on Morcell.
Boy, it's lost when you watch their offense, but they can guard. Kispert, magnificent. Automatic switch. Then on the dribble drive, got his body in the right spot. And just sells it beautifully.
They are the total package right now.
Oh, they
Gonzaga
are.
is.
They got everything going. They got depth, shooters, inside game, unselfish play, dribble drive.
Remember, too, there were a few guys that they didn't know if they'd be back this year. And they knew Suggs was coming in and he would be good. Nembhard transferring from Florida.
They didn't know Suggs would be great.
Turned out to be a little bit better than everybody thought.
But your point is well taken, though, about Nembhard and Suggs can play together, rest one another.
All right, so Huff will check out with 3 personal fouls. That's a big loss because now you're bringing the freshman Caden Shedrick.
And he's a kid that with some knee issues didn't get the reps all summer. Big upside, nice cut again, and the nick as well. Clever, unselfish, great response.
And Watson with 6 now will go to the free throw line.
Gonzaga prep kid. Gonna be a nice player, I think. There's that double screen. Everybody reacts to the cutter. Kispert, who might be able to knock the shot down. I believe in 5th grade, his coach was a very famous former NBA player.
And who was that?
John Stein.
Oh, wow, the 3 from Kispert. 7 threes for Corey Kispert.
Boy, he is having fun, and why not?
He is 7 for 10. He matches his career high from beyond the arc.
Oh, no.
And the shot is off the mark, but the save by Shedrick. And the 3 is good for Murphy.
Yeah, I like Shedrick. Long and lean.
Murphy with 12. Way downtown, feeling it.
You got to play him at half court. Oh,
27 points.
this is impressive on both ends.
60-38, the foul from behind.
Seldom do you see a team that controls tempo as well as Virginia, unable to contest, stop, bad shots on occasion, turnovers lead to runouts, and this kid, goodness, organized, special delivery from deep.
That's a career high 8 threes for Corey Kispert, 27 points overall.
Now, this is a very Merry Christmas.
It sure is.
There's
How
another
about
one.
9?
Yeah.
Nope. Heat check and Timmy's put back no good. Second time it is good.
I think they're going to take Kispert out. He's killing him.
And a timeout called.
Not much Tony can do right now. Well, everybody's smiling. How with the Zags?
62-38.
This week on The Upper Hands, special guest Flo challenge.
San Jose State has had an exceptional year, just like Gonzaga has had. 62-38.
How about an exceptional day for Corey Kispert? He's just been magnificent. Relocating, has a wonderful understanding of how to free himself. His organization is exceptional, though. Gets squared up, shoulders right on the rim. Nothing but nylon. Goodness, he doesn't hit the tin at all. And they give it to him. And this one had a little fake hit there at the end. Probably the only mistake he's made all day.
He is 1 3-pointer, Bill, away from the Gonzaga record for a game. Dan Dickau, who has similarly good hair like Corey Kispert, has the record with 9.
I detect a little jealousy.
Little
for
bit of
some reason,
jealousy.
you know?
Our colleague Dan Dickau. Huff, by the way, is back here with 3 fouls for Virginia. Clark to Hauser for 3. A little too strong, and Huff tips it out to Clark.
Well, Huff, when he's in there, should really get some more touches, I think.
Hauser, another 3 attempt. This one was off the backboard, and Huff slams it home. Oh, he broke a backboard when he was in high school, and he nearly broke that one.
Jerome Lane.
Yeah.
Double D, Darryl Dawkins. Some pretty good names.
22-point game. Suggs off the screen by Watson, and then Hauser there to cut it off.
But they really are subtle movement too. Timmy moves from one side to the other for that slip, which was defended well.
11 turnovers for Virginia. They average under 9 per game. Clark trying to get a little space. Huff for 3. Lets it go. It's good.
He can move around and do some damage.
86 threes last year. He now has 7, including last 2 buckets for the Cavaliers. He arrived on campus 195 pounds. And now at 240 pounds.
Well, he can move too. He's got good footwork, good understanding of offensive skills. This is late. Shot clock.
Shot clock's at 3. Timmy right to the rim. And he's fouled by Huff. That'll be number 4.
He thought he got all ball too. Timmy exposed that ball. I thought if he kept 2 hands, he could have finished the deal.
14-18 to play here in the second half. Yeah, Mom's feeling pretty good about these free throws.
Abby says she wants to marry a B-Dubs honey barbecue wing. We get the sweet, tangy allure.
Cavaliers with 14-18 to play in the second half. Time now for AT&T 5G fast analysis.
And the terrific ball movement and body movement have presented great opportunities for this Gonzaga team. Just subtle movement. Timmy moves up the lane, opens up the lane to the rim. Boy, you gotta get his number. Kispert, that is. Here's a nice little dime by Watson. Just unselfish, beautiful basketball to watch.
17 assists on 23 made baskets for Gonzaga. Gonzaga, when their conference schedule gets underway, their conference is pretty good this year.
Talking some pretty good teams. Always St. Mary's comes to mind. Of course, San Francisco with that great win against Virginia with Jamari Bouye and Shabazz able to knock shots down.
Timmy's first free throw is good. Stream CBS Sports HQ, the completely free and always on sports news network for highlights, breaking news, and expert picks. Download the CBS Sports app on your phone or connected TV to watch today.
And I don't want to leave BYU and Pepperdine out either. Barcello having a really nice year. These folks enjoyed it, right? Why not?
64-43.
I'm really looking forward to see this Virginia team in another 30 days. It will be a different look, I assure you.
Different look defensively?
Well, absolutely. He'll find out his rotations. This kid is a premier coach. This is hard for him.
Watching his press conference this week, you get a sense of just how good a coach he is, but also how good of a guy he is.
A class act to the whole family.
He said that before the William & Mary game. He said, I want you guys to do 2 things. These are my 2 pillars. Be humble and play with passion. Will you play with humility and know who you are and approach this the right way with great passion on every possession? He said, that is our mindset.
Well, he's a humble way about him, too. And once again, the attack by Clark. Look at his post up and footwork.
And Timmy switches hands.
So smart. Both hands get knocked out.
Timmy now with 19 points, 8 rebounds.
And Tom, they don't let the ball get in the post, and they occasionally will double that box as well. And you get a little nickel dimer here. Dunbar, I believe.
Yeah, that foul will be number 6 on Gonzaga.
Look at this load up. That doesn't happen. You got to get over the top, do your homework a little bit early, and put you in a suitcase. That kid understands low post maneuvers.
Said he spent the pandemic playing one-on-one with his brother, Walker, and his dad, who we've seen today, played at SMU. So those are two pretty good guys to play against.
I'm sure the dad dispenses a lot of knowledge. You're curious to see where Walker ends up. They say he's heavily recruited. Once again, Timmy really does a great job getting an angle for a pass.
Watson gives up his dribble. Iaye for three. It's off the front of the rim. Ball tipped around, and Clark comes out of it. Clark has put up 15 points.
He's really done a nice job trying to lead his team. That time, little drive. It's Watson and Timmy.
17th foul now on the Zags.
Clark, one of those kids, didn't have many offers either. I think it was California system. Maybe Davis was interested in him.
It was a big piece to that puzzle for the national championship. By the way, that was the 6th team foul, not 7th. That's why they weren't shooting. You want to know how this game is going for Virginia? They have just one timeout left at 12:25 to play here in the second half.
Well, trying to stem the tide. And Nembar does a great job getting in the lane. Didn't result favorably.
Beekman trying to go to the basket, draws the contacts.
Well, that was a little bit lazy gamble. You got to take away that baseline drive. But I like this kid's game. Very confident player. Long, gets to the rim. Widens for open looks. Good left hand.
Freshman from Baton Rouge. Off the mark with that free throw. It's only the 7th free throw attempt for Tony Bennett's team.
You know, when they lost to UMBC, we happened to be there. And what he was able to do within a year with that program to win the championship is one of the greatest stories in college basketball. I remember asking him, when did you start talking to your players after that loss? He said the next day. And they started psychologically reaching one another. Look at the strength by Suggs. The quarterback keeper.
That's his first bucket of the day.
He just plays to win.
5 rebounds, 6 assists.
With Kispert on fire, why not use him?
And a blocking foul called on Cook. You know, Bill, just to get back to what you said about Tony Bennett, the psychological part of it is huge for the Cavaliers. We'll see if they're able to find something today to slow down the Zags when we come back. CBS Sports College basketball coverage is sponsored by Jersey Mike's Subs. Be a sub above. Verizon, the network more people rely on. And by Buick, proud partner of the NCAA. Well, Gonzaga's done it all today. They've shot the three well. They're 9 of 18 from beyond the arc. They've shot free throws well. They have 9 made free throws. They've turned over Virginia. It's only 11, but they average 8.5 per game. Tomorrow in 60 Minutes, a jazz prodigy whose piano playing and personality will knock you out. Tomorrow on CBS.
And the way the Zags run their efficient offense would knock you out as well. Extremely unselfish.
You play to the music that's being played at the arena.
I'll tell you what, I should have grown my hair, grown a mustache,
put a headband on.
Like Kispert, Timmy. Of course, Adam Morrison comes to mind from the old. He was the original stash. You mentioned Dan Dickow before. Boy, they had some great players. But of course, Fromm comes to mind, Pargo comes to mind, and of course during Mark's era, you got Sabonis, Kelly Olynyk. Goodness, they just keep coming. Rui Hachimura.
Hauser makes the first free throw. You know, this is the first time that Gonzaga has been the #1 team in the country to start a season. The continued progression of Mark Few as the head coach. Overall, it's the 18th time. It's not the most in conference history. San Francisco, back in the day, was #1 29 times.
It was before my day, but not far before my day. Of course, there was a gentleman named Bill Russell.
Yes, sir.
There's KC as well.
Here's Timmy down low.
He sets his guy up beautifully, doesn't he? And he knows glass shots, angles. Wily vet.
Yeah, and he's doing it against a guy in Hauser who can play defense. And he went over top of him there.
They can hound you too. Good on-ball defender. Cook causes the walk by being in position.
It's a traveling violation.
Clark is a tough guy to rattle, but little sneak and a peek. This is just, you know where the weight is, know which drop step. Boy, that's a tough angle too.
6 turnovers for Clark. 12 for the day for Virginia.
Box to box, high post. Timmy just keeps his guy busy, enables this to happen. Goodness.
I mentioned that he hadn't really done a whole lot offensively, but there you go.
All out of the set offense.
72-49.
Nice steal.
And Murphy has it knocked away. Suggs, such good hands. Heads to the basket, finishes strong.
Well, they're good looking ahead, aren't they? Aggressive D.
Everybody talks about Suggs' defensive ability, his prowess. They say it's because he was such a good defensive back when he was a high school football player. The instincts are there.
He can throw it too, right?
Yes, he can. Tensai, his 3 is good. 74-52. Under 10 to play here in the second half.
Boy, you're devastating when you use the bounce. This caves that defense, opens up shots like that.
Nemhart down low to Cook, and Cook got some separation and lays it in.
Activity, unselfish.
Just 4 points for Cook, but he's made those 4 count. And a foul on the floor on Cook.
Now, when you score as much and as easily as Gonzaga, the defense is overlooked. Always in the right spot, angle off, athleticism at the 10. This really solid basketball team.
25 points off turnovers today for Gonzaga. They get a lot of points on transition. They average 25.5 per game in transition, but 25 off turnovers today.
Now, where do you think they have to improve? I mean, it'll be interesting what Mark will say.
Yeah, and a lot of people talk about defense, that they have to improve on defense. I think today they've shown how good they can be defensively,
right.
And I thought they were that way last week with Iowa.
And they jumped on them early. A lot of turnovers help Mark's guys. They don't have many areas of concern.
They have balance. The lead is 22. And Cook, quick step to the basket. He's fouled going up.
We got hurt there a little bit.
Abdur-Rahim called for that foul.
Familiar name, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Dad, great player. I still dribble drive. Once again, you see the movement of the bigs just creates areas where you can really pound it and get to the rim.
Cook converts. By the way, Bill, you mentioned Casey Jones before.
Yeah.
Condolences to his family.
God bless. Yep, love that guy.
Passed away yesterday, and his former teammate Bill Russell sent out a beautiful passage on behalf of his friend who passed away yesterday.
I got to know Casey just a little bit. We did a boys club outing in Nantucket, and a friend of mine, Jerry Crotty, got him up to sing. Great voice.
Really?
Plays the piano. Was a championship coach. Great player. Just a nice way about him.
9:05 to play second half. Hauser off the glass, no good. Suggs had it. Huff picks it up, and he lays it in.
Ooh, hope Hauser's okay. Slow getting up.
That's 9 points for Huff.
His brother hurt his leg, too, the other day, the left leg, I think against Northwestern, if I'm not mistaken. Just that Stevens Point connection. Tony going back to the hometown there.
Timmy off the pass, can't get it to go. Suggs with the offensive rebound, and he's fouled going up.
He is strong. Determined, too, added to that strength. These guys are champing at the bit to get in. Strother over there. Wallow.
Yeah, Bolo got in for all of maybe 2 minutes of the first half.
You know, Umar is a kid that played with the NBA Global Academy. And Greg Colucci, terrific player with his own. His dad, Vic, was at Providence. He works with the NBA. A lot of these kids have prospered because of that opportunity.
Yeah, he's dropped a lot of weight, you know, from his freshman year to now. His redshirt year, I should say, till now.
Good around the rim, block shots. Big time body.
80-56, Gonzaga on top, and Clark bumped to the ground by Cook.
Clark really knows how to get into you too. Good penetration. They just got to get back to the gym, start working, get organized. I mean, you got an extraordinary guy on the bench teaching you, putting new pieces together after the comfort zone of those championship guys. Not easy.
Clark's first free throw is good. You know, Tony said something this week that we've heard a lot from coaches around college basketball this season. He explained the 10 days off and doing Zoom meetings, and that's about it, and 3 days to prepare for William & Mary. And he said, you know, the guys were just grateful. They were just grateful to be out there. And it's the same thought here, even though this is a 22-point game, is that getting a chance to play and getting themselves ready for the ACC, where they're picked first in the ACC.
It'll be an interesting year. Florida State's going to be in the hunt, as you know. Johnson gets back healthy for Duke. They're going to be good.
Kispert.
The State took care of Carolina the other night.
29 points for Kispert. Clark can't get that one to go. Kispert leaves it for AIE, and here is Suggs.
The jump stop. That kid can do it all. He got hurt in Florida and came back. I never thought he would be back in the game.
I thought Achilles. I thought ankle.
The worst. Such a tough competitor.
In fact, it was shocking when he came back in the game that day as the ball is out of bounds. Well, it's 84-58. You can pick your poison. It's one or the other.
It's the headbands. Muzzy on one side, the Stash working hard, and Kispert able to do some damage. And here's Suggs in the open floor, delivering big time. Toughness personified.
This time Virginia gave up a game where the opposition shot 60% or more was in 2008 against Xavier.
It's impressive what they've been able to do. The assist 23, they averaged 20. Proves how they like to give it up. And this guy back at home, stash it all, shake and bake, head and shoulder, no dandruff, great footwork. A little kiss. No, that's a straight-in jumper that he took earlier. But just peeking, he's got great timing and patience, doesn't he?
He does.
I mentioned Suggs with a feel. He is a post guy that has a wonderful feel and understanding of the game.
Timmy's made a heck of a jump. Last year he averaged 9.8 points per game. He was basically the sixth man for Gonzaga. Started 4 games, played in 33. I mean, this is what you want if you're a top flight program like Gonzaga is for somebody to progress the way he has progressed from one year to another.
Got to be satisfying for folks, huh? Looking on, see your son not only playing but excelling. Petrusev, of course, was there last year. Philippe.
He was really good.
Yeah. Again, the activity so pivotal of Timmy. Look at this. Just amazing. Clever. Boy, the knowledge of a point guard.
25 points. Yeah, if you're big and you have the ability to see the floor the way he does,
opens up so many things for others.
Well, because there will be double and triple teams, so he has to pass out of it, and he does so well. Pull-up jumper from Beekman.
Even on that trip, he closed down the dribble path to create a bad shot.
Kispert and Timmy are within 4 of Virginia overall. 54, the 86 for the Zags. Kispert for 3, and it's good.
Goodness. How does he get so free?
32 points. It's a career high. Dan Dickau has scored 9 threes in one half.
Poor Dan. Say goodnight.
Kispert has 9 today.
We remember your greatness, but this is very impressive.
Yeah, the pass up floor Yeah, the foul as Ayayi was getting set to go to the basket.
And once again, screen, slide to the goal. No communication. Not typical Virginia defense. No one staying attached to number 24.
89, 58, 6:20 to play.
Mark was telling me down in Florida, he's a great student. Just a great leader, Kispert. And obviously the talent. Just an added dimension.
Well, it makes it easier for a head coach when he's all of that. Here's Clark. Could have taken that shot if he wanted to.
Here's the kid that's going to make some strides.
Here's Clark for three. Off the front of the rim, no good.
Yeah, Shedrick, maybe later in the year, will start making that post move on his own.
Yeah, he was thinking about it. Timmy right to the basket. Can't convert, but he'll go to the free throw line for 2 shots.
Make it so easy.
Monday night, our favorite neighbors are back. Cedric the Entertainer and Max Greenfield star in the neighborhood. Watch Monday, 8, 7 Central on CBS or stream anytime.
I got a name from way back, Johnny Red Kerr. Am I losing you?
You're losing me just a little bit.
Actually, before Wilt with the Warriors.
Wow.
He had the Iron Man Award forever. 700 and whatever games. Randy Smith eventually ended up exceeding that. But clever, great passer, just like this kid. And at the end of his career, his knees were killing him, Johnny Red Kerr. And before the game, he would rub them and he would say, just give me one more game. And then he would say, I know I lied to you last night.
Just give me one more. Well, there's a lot more in Timmy's future. Pulled to 10 side for 3, no good. And the save on the baseline by Shedrick. And the 3 is good by Murphy.
Nice little kick out. Boy, Murphy can't stroke it.
By the way, Gonzaga now 91-61. They've scored 90 points or more against Kansas, 102 there. 90 against Auburn, 99 versus Iowa.
What impresses you with this team is they don't take bad shots either. Would you agree?
I would agree with that.
Oh, why not? Everything else has got in.
Somebody just yelled count it, and if they would have counted that one, there would have been smiles and jumping all over the place. So Timmy to the free throw line. Kispert is 32. Timmy is 27.
6'10", mobile, clever.
And he's just going to get better and better, you would think, as it goes on.
He plays with an understanding of each position, too, what has to be done.
Kispert checks out. That'll be it for him. So the conference record for threes, at least for now, is safe. It was 11. Jeff Fryer had that. And now Timmy checks out. Mom and Dad love the chance to see him in person.
Absolutely. What a thrill over the Christmas break.
29 points, a career high. Kispert with his points, a career high.
And this is style, too, by Mark. You know, he realizes Tony trying to get his club organized. There's a lot of compassion.
Yeah, a lot of respect between those two. In fact, there was a funny moment this past week when Tony Bennett was talking about the game against Gonzaga, and he said Gonzaga, and he said, whoa, it's Gonzaga. You know, they let you know if you mess it up. And he started laughing. He goes, I got to get that right.
Well, he lived in that state for a while.
Yes, sir.
He won at Washington State. People know sometimes because Kyle Smith doing a great job there this year now. Former San Francisco and Columbia coach.
Harris dribble it up top. Ayayi looking inside for Ballo.
And Todd Golden, of course, at San Francisco, was an assistant to Kyle. Had that magnificent win early. Should have a nice year.
No look pass cut off. And here come the Cavaliers. And off the back of the iron, Morcell was able to finish. Under 4 minutes to play. It's a 30-point game. Mentioned Virginia has 1 win against the #1 teams in the country. That was against North Carolina in '86.
That was shocking, wasn't it?
It was. Out of bounds. 3:40 to play in the second half. Tony Bennett trying to deal with the #1 team in the country. That guy, though, has been on fire.
Before we talk about tax-smart investment.
Been flawless.
It's really been flawless.
Surgical.
There is a balance and a rhythm that you don't often see with a team in college basketball right now that they have.
Yeah, absolutely. All ends of the floor.
Yep.
Morcell in the lane, Cafaro on the floor as well.
6 points for Morcell. He's got the last 2 buckets. Strother. This is his first run of the day. Nembhard running the point. He and Ayayi are in the backcourt. Strother for 3. It's no good, and the rebound pulled down by Morcell.
Early in the year, Huey was telling me this kid can play. Averaged in the 20s in the under-19 FIBA games. They got some deep bench.
From the corner 3 is good. Reese Beekman, the freshman. That's his 13th 3 of the year. His first bucket of the day. 93-68. 2.5 to play.
I think these Virginia kids will respond once they understand.
I would agree with
the
that.
demands on that defensive end. Sets up everything for them. Little shove at the rim. Yeah, he's mixing his game up. He's the only one with a 3, right?
He's the only other one, yeah. Kispert's got 9, and he has 1. Kispert is done with 32 points today. 9 of 13, ties the school record. Our buddy Dan Dickow 2 away from the conference record for 3s in the game.
Now this is a solid team. Cover all the elements.
8 points for Ayayi. 8 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. His afternoon is complete.
Such a relaxed atmosphere Mark has.
I think it just stems from him.
Yeah, everything stems from the top.
I love the quote that he had about his style that he learned. There's another steal. He learned when he was an assistant coach. He said, I was sitting there watching my team play as an assistant coach one day, and I realized how stiff they were and how methodical. He said, I always wanted them to play free and fast. And I remember telling myself while watching that game that I want our guys to play with great confidence and no worry about anything, including being taken out of the game.
Well, they have no worry. They have all the basics necessary. Because I used to always tease Dan Munson. You know, he professes to be the architect of the Gonzaga program. There's that Long Beach State now. Well, long history now. We always talk about blue bloods. You going to put them in there?
I think you have to if you consider them having the best winning percentage since the 99-2000 season in college basketball. Now, would a national title help?
Oh, certainly.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Another trip to the Final Four? Yeah.
That would be the crowning glory.
I mean, there's a long way to go because there will be a point where somebody will start talking about Indiana in '76 that went 32-0.
Right.
Ballo, turnaround, hook shot is good.
NBA Academy.
1:25 to play here in the second half. It is a 28-point lead for the Zags on the doorstep of 100 points again. McCoy for 3. It's good.
I like him. Some nice players. Just don't understand the system yet.
And that is a big part of it, too.
McCoy, one of those kids, and watch it, can attack the rim, too.
Cook feeds inside to Ballo. A little bit of a traffic jam for a moment. Ballo switches hands, doesn't convert. And here's McCoy coming out of the pile with the basketball, running the floor, looks
Nice
up.
look.
And Morcell is able to finish.
Nice.
That's 8 points for Morcell. .40 seconds to play. want to get it into Ballo again, it looks like anyway. He's trying to post up down low.
Give a little bit of a touch. Gonzaga down in the low box, begging as well.
He sets the high screen for Strother, who disregards it. 19 seconds left. Ballo from the free throw line. And the rebound is pulled down by Harris, and he'll just pull it out. That'll do it. He'll just dribble the last 10 seconds out. This was dominating for Gonzaga. 98-75, the final score over Virginia.
Boy, impressive.
On every level.
Everybody stepped on the floor. Big time performance. And two buddies, one's got a lot of work to do. And Fewey, got to keep it rolling.
We'll be back right after this.
Jake from State Farm. If you hear